So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast in the fallout of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Literally.
Yeah. It was Team Order special this week. Very nearly had a repeat of Multi 21, perhaps.
I actually made that exact statement in a chat that I was in.
I should think Multi 21 was clear of that incident though. Multi 21 was like the fucking bar.
Well, yeah, because Seb didn't give the position back in Multi 21. Had Lando not returned the position, I think we could have had it be at least on par with Multi 21.
Multi 21 would have been. Actually, I feel like that could have been better because Mark Webber's still Piastri's manager.
Yeah.
So,
extra layer.
Yeah.
Mark Webber would just have came up and whispered to Oscar Piastri and Parc Ferme, Multi 21.
Tell him, give him the Multi 21.
I also think every single day they should get the FIA should say team orders must be called Multi 21, just forever.
I think they always will, from the fans.
Yeah.
It'll be like 60 years down the line, and they'll swap the drivers, and some fan will go, "God, bloody Multi 21," and like some young kid's gonna be like, "What's a Multi 21?"
Is that a switch?
Come here, child. Sit down. Let me tell you the story of when a world champion ignored team orders.
Was he a world champion then, or was that his first season?
It was 2013.
I was at 2013.
Yeah, I know that's because I was watching an F1 season review of 2013.
When a multiple world champion ignored team orders.
Yeah, it was at Malaysia race 2.
So,
and to be fair, the fact they had team orders of race 2 of a season is fucking disgusting.
Mm.
Oh, well, what can you do?
I mean, I can kind of understand it, considering how tight the 2012 season had been. So it was, it could probably have been a case of, hold up, protect the points.
You got a 1-2.
Just let him race.
Yeah.
But we've seen what happened when we let them race and both end up DNF. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Multi 21 was the correct call, race 2 or not. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll be honest, I only seen the race, so I can't talk about any other session.
I really wish I'd made my just Perez things me, because it came back again. Yeah. Good moves. Perez spinning it in quali once more.
Yeah.
Solid. Like, completely trashed his car.
And yet somehow still out qualifying George Russell.
Yes. Somehow. I don't really know how. Yeah, magic. So, look, we've heard enough rumours around the paddock in the last week. Christian Horner saying look, there's only so much I can do to defend this man. It's hard to run a race when you've only got one leg. And Helmut Marko saying, look, we'll go after the race in Spa and then we'll make our decision, which to me kind of sounds like they've already made the decision.
And they're just waiting to the summer break.
Yeah. So I would say keep your ears open. It's probably going to come out 3 days after the Belgian Grand Prix. Yeah, I reckon Tuesday or Wednesday that week there'll be some news. And I'm going to go on record and say my prediction is that Daniel Ricciardo will be promoted into the Red Bull seat and Liam Lawson will be given a half-a-year contract in RB.
So you think Sergio Perez will just be dropped from Formula 1 completely?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Lawson will get the Red Bull seat, though.
Oh, you're going Lawson straight in.
Might just be like, you know what?
They've got enough pieces in the pool to play merry-go-round. So
Red Bull trust like their youth enough to be like, yeah, whatever, shove you in the car. Let's see how you do.
I think if they were going to put youth in the car, they would promote Yuki Tsunoda to the Red Bull seat,
but I think
and give Lawson the RB seat.
They would have already looked at Yuki, though. I feel.
Maybe they were just waiting for an opportunity. So I think Danny, Ben thinks
Liam,
and Chris thinks Yuki.
No, I think it's more likely to be Danny Rick. What I was saying is, if they were promoting youth, surely they go with Yuki Tsunoda.
So Chris is pussied out.
Yeah, Danny Rick is my firmer prediction.
Okay,
I was just counteracting Ben's point.
I mean, if they were going to go for youth, then yeah, I'd probably go down the same route because, like, we know Lawson's good in the RB, so put him back in the RB. And Yuki hasn't had his chance in the Red Bull yet, so give him that. But I feel like Danny is a more of a known entity within the Red Bull team. So I feel like he would be the one that would get the call up. So we'll see. Only a week and 2 days until we find out, is my guess.
Yeah, it'll be pretty soon because they won't be able to hide it because they'll have to get it done before the factory shut down so that they can get seat fits and everything done.
Well, Danny probably still has a seat from when he was testing reserve. So it probably won't even be a fit. It'll be just an update. From last year's chassis to this year's chassis. So I don't imagine that takes too long.
Yeah, they're going to have photographers camped outside the Red Bull factory. As soon as they see anyone going in there, the rumour mill will start.
Yeah. What Red Bull could do, absolute power move, bring all 3 of the drivers in at the same time.
Get us, like, Anton Deck and be like, it's not you, Yuki Tsunoda. And then he's fucking walking off. And he has the little red bridge of the fucking winner who gets the seat.
Simon Cowler.
Yeah.
It's a no from me.
Or a proper power
Perez.
A proper power move would be to do all the seat fit stuff at RB's factory. Because everyone would expect them to just do it at the Red Bull facility.
They already have the seats there, don't they? So that would be the point.
But I'm glad all of us are in agreement that Perez is just getting yeeted into
what
this
would be a proper power move is if Red Bull were like, Kimi Antonelli, boink, I'm having you.
Kimi Antonelli to Red Bull.
Hey, you want to drive, kid?
Power move. Yeah.
Isaac Hadjar's just sat there like, I'm winning. I'm winning the championship. That'd be brutal.
But yeah, I did see a clip of Yuki Tsunoda taking off in Q3.
Yes. The boy went airborne outside of turn 5. The sort of 180-degree long radius right-hander uphill-ish.
Yeah.
Before the chicane. Got a bit wide, got on the dirty line, got even wider. And then in some kind of, I guess, change of surface that he was on, there was a bit of a bump.
Curb.
And then up you go. On board, it didn't look that bad. Off board, damn, he got some air.
It was really like slight annoyance from it though. Is where the cameraman couldn't quite get it in time. You can't see Yuki just fucking launch into the barrier.
Yeah, you just see
when
the
he's
end
like
of it.
proper airborne. You just see the end. Yeah. But from his onboard, he like hits a curb and he's fucking flying.
They had one job.
Gives you wings.
With 3 eyes now because of a lawsuit.
fucking appalling, isn't it? Red Bull didn't give me wings. What the fuck?
And they won. That's the wild bit.
That's fucking mad.
So, anyway,
the race.
Yeah.
But no, George got knocked out as well. Did we speak about that?
We didn't know.
We sort of touched on it. We were like that Perez somehow managed to out-qualify George Russell.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. And then McLaren won too.
Yeah, front row lockout.
Yeah. 2 races, 2 front row lockouts from 2 different teams. Just saying.
I think it was partly helped in terms of the timing of red flags in Q3 with the Yuki incident. I mean, in a way, it didn't help Norris because he'd just gone out on a brand new set, so ended up putting extra wear through it before doing his lap. But equally, other drivers, namely Max, had already used their, had already finished their final run. So it was like there's 2 minutes left on the clock, and you got no new tyres. So Max just got out of the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the red flag was kind of fortunate in that, but at the same time, these things happen. You still got to be there.
Exactly. That's Formula One.
Yeah.
You've got to capitalize on your opportunities. But as I say, yeah, 2 races, 2 front row lockouts from 2 separate teams. Formula One's getting spicy again, and I like it.
Formula One's getting spicy because Red Bull are third.
There's actually a fight.
There's a 3-way fight, which is good. It's probably too late for it to be a 3-way fight in the championship, but there's a 3-way fight at the moment at the front.
It's definitely potentially a 2-way fight in the championship now.
Yeah.
I would
4
say,
if Ferrari get their act together.
Yeah, it's like currently I'd say it's 3.5 because Ferrari looked better at Hungary. They were sort of there. There's still a little bit that like to go, but they weren't fucking double DNF or whatever.
Yeah.
They actually scored some points this week.
Yeah. They looked somewhat competitive.
Yeah, I did see a thing over the 6 rounds in the lead up to Britain. Red Bull scored something like the 3rd highest amount of points. I think it was Mercedes, McLaren, and then Red Bull in terms of the constructors. I don't know how that changes post Hungary. McLaren will probably take the lead on that because they scored nearly max points. I don't think they got the fastest lap.
No, George Russell got the fastest lap point.
So yeah, they scored just about max points. But yeah, the championship has finally got interested, and I think that'll be good for 2025.
It will all depend on who develops a little something over the winter.
Yeah.
We should have this off the start because I don't think they're going to put a lot into the 2025 cars when 2026 is just around the corner.
Well, I think the front runners will still put an amount into it in the same way that we saw with the 21 cars, because there was a fight between Mercedes and Red Bull. The developments were still coming.
Yeah.
We can look at Mercedes and say maybe that wasn't the best idea given their 2022 car onwards. But Red Bull still managed it. But Red Bull have Adrian Newey, so
yeah.
It could also be like a thing that McLaren do, because they could look at 2025, be like, we have a real chance. Let's just fuck off 26. We want it now.
Eggs, basket, go.
Yeah.
So, because if they manage it,
and back to the GP2 engine.
Yeah. That's sort of
Well, see, that's the thing.
It's difficult.
They don't have to worry about the development of the engine because they're a customer team. So that's completely out of their hands. The only things they have to worry about are fitting that engine to their chassis itself, and the aero. Those are the realistically the only three things they need to worry about. But they don't have to worry about engine performance. They don't have to worry about developing upgrades for components of the engine. They just have to worry about their chassis and their aero.
And pray Mercedes gets the engine right.
Yes. The last time we had an engine reg upgrade, Mercedes were the benchmark coming out of that.
They were the only team to get it right. Let's be honest, in 2014. The only team.
But also, was that still back before the time where the FIA were like, you have to give the teams you're supplying engines to the same engine?
I think that was maybe just before it.
Yeah, because like nobody else was near them, even though they were still powered by Mercedes engines.
Yeah, but then also Mercedes put so much time into that 2014 car.
True. True. But still. But yeah, no, I feel like McLaren could be like, look, this is our one chance to maybe deliver on the promise to Lando that we can give him a world championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is difficult because before you know it, McLaren could be like, oh, right, okay, let's just sort of balance it out. And Red Bull could be like, oh, right, fuck it, let's all
go
in,
for it. Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, it'd be interesting next year.
It'll be a good season, I think.
I also love the fact every single regulation change, it changes just when the racing's hitting its peak and all the teams are really fucking close.
But then I think that's what it's kind of designed to do. If that makes sense, I think a reg change is they always say it's meant to bring the field closer together, but it's also, I think, sort of designed to shake the field up a bit.
Yeah.
It's designed to give the opportunity to shake the field up a bit. Whether or not it actually does or not really depends.
Because in 2014, Mercedes sort of came out of nowhere. Well, bang, we are fast. 2022, it was Red Bull. Bang, we are fast.
I suppose in a way,
2009 it's Brawn.
Yeah.
In
a way, they're trying to fend off, because like the general consensus is right that the longer you leave it post a regulation change, the more the team's different approaches sort of converge into what is widely agreed upon as the best way to go about it. Now, we've still got, Ferrari do their way, Red Bull do their way, and we've kind of got some halfway houses in the middle. So there's still a bit of variance in there. But it is widely getting more and more agreed upon that this is the way to do things. So I feel like the regulation changes are only there, realistically, to stave off the accusation that Formula One is becoming a spec series. Because... as much as all of the teams are responsible for building their own parts and whatever and this, that and the other, if they all look the same, it may as well be a spec series.
Yeah.
So to avoid it being just another like F2 premiere, shake up the regs, make everyone build something new, give them a different target to aim at. Suddenly everyone's cars look a little different again, suddenly you've got a difference in performance, and suddenly it's a technological battle again alongside the driver battle. That's the thing. That's the difference between F1 and F2. It's a tech battle on top of the driver battle.
Yeah.
It'll also be interesting to see if the regulations actually come in for 26. Because even these regulations now were meant to come in 21. And they're like, oh, no, 22.
I think that was only because of COVID.
Yeah. They did the whole... They did
the swaps.
Yeah, they did the primary setback because of COVID, and then this is just sort of like the evolution of that. So... we'll see.
Because these power unit regs have been in the works for years. Like this is the first big power unit shake-up I've had since 14. And if had these regs came in 21, we would have had 5 seasons with the 2022 cars before we moved to 26. So I get that it doesn't feel like a long time, but you need to take into account the delay because these regs have been getting worked on before 2021 even. They've been sitting there scratching their heads like, when did the 2022 custom car be like revealed? What was it, 2019?
Something like that.
They were
probably.
like, this is what the 2021 car is going to look like. And everyone was like, ooh, fancy.
Well, this was their designer's interpretation of the rules, so
yeah, it was that
none of them really.
We can look at that car now and be like,
but I can't remember what year it was.
It was either 19 or 20. I feel like it would have probably been 19 to give the teams.
It definitely wasn't 20. I think it was either 18 or 19.
So,
but yeah, shall we actually talk about the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Sure. I've been trying to just put it off because I'm just gonna actually slag off my own team now.
Let's be honest, it was a fucking snooze fest.
It was 2020.
Was 20?
Right at the start. Right at the start. This article is from the 5th of January 2020.
So then, they must have revealed the car at Silverstone that year. It's just been like, ta-da! But yeah. Right. So Chris thinks it's a snooze fest. I'm about to slag off my own team. Ben?
I think it was like the most drive to survive the race of all time. Like, the actual race was fucking dog shit. But they somehow pulled all this drama out of the fucking bag to make it look like a banger.
I think the only reason I was entertained by the race is because I was talking to people while it was going on. I wasn't just sat here on my own like I usually am. I was typing away with everyone. But oh my god, like, when a McLaren gonna actually everyone's gonna look at the result and go like, oh brilliant, McLaren 1-2, a front row lockout to a 1-2 conversion, Oscar's first win, incredible. How have they managed to do that? And then you look deeper into it and it's like, how many times are McLaren gonna fuck up their strategy before we can actually put together a team that can fight for a world championship without chopping off their own foot at every possible opportunity? Like, okay, on the
Ferrari, come on.
No, seriously, someone made the joke of like they hired the fucking Ferrari strategist, and it's like, yeah, fair. That's like on the first round of pit stops, I can understand pitting Lando first because of the threat of the undercut. Fine, totally accept that. But on the second round of pit stops, both Oscar and Lando were seconds clear of the threat of the undercut from anyone else. So why the fuck, when Lando is only like 2 seconds behind Oscar and therefore in undercut range of Oscar, are you pitting Lando first?
Yeah.
If you are clear of any threat of any driver, you pit the lead driver first. This is just the standard for any team. You give the guy in front primary service. And I feel like Mark Webber's probably going to have a go at someone.
The only way I think of counteracting that and like sort of defending McLaren is if they were worried about the tyres not making it, because then it's better to fuck Lando's race than Piastri's. But even then, it's
not that long left in the race.
Yeah,
the first stint went longer than what was left. You've got lighter cars at this point.
Yeah,
like there was no issue. The tyres they put on were a scrub set that Lando and Oscar had literally gone out, done an outlap, in-lap, and then taken off again. So the tyres were used in the barest sense of the word. So there was no issues with any kind of tyre life or tyre management worries. Even though they kept banging on at Lando, like, you're still using the tyres too much in turn 4 and turn 11. every fucking lap.
I think that was to try and get Lando to slow down a bit.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, but I also think that's Lando be like, fuck it, I'm
off.
putting in that time zone now. Yeah.
So it's just messy. You wouldn't have put yourself in that situation had you just done the normal thing and pit Oscar first. That's this whole situation doesn't exist if you pit Oscar first.
Yeah.
Because Lando comes out of the pits having pit second and is 5 seconds adrift. At that point, it's up to Lando if he wants to try and catch Oscar and go for the win or not.
Yeah.
Because then it's just you were in the same order that you came in.
Yeah.
That allows you to do fair racing.
Yeah.
There is no need for team orders at that point. If Oscar wants his first win, he has to defend it. Not be given it on a plate because he's 5 seconds adrift. Like, it's annoying. Like, Oscar's got his first win. Great. Fully deserved it from the drive. The team fucked him in the ass. Like,
yeah.
What's he meant to do there? The team's fucked him over. He should have been winning. He's now not. The cars are doing pretty much the same pace. So, yeah. He's listened to every team instruction he's been given. He's let Lando through on numerous occasions. Now the tables have turned and Lando's fucked off up the road.
Yeah.
I think it's alright to make this mistake once. The real issue's if they do it again.
Yeah. They have to learn from this. If McLaren can't sort their shit out, they're not going to be a title contending team.
No.
In the same way that Ferrari are currently not a title contending team because their strategy lets them down too frequently.
And the car.
Okay, yeah, but like I'm talking like years previous.
Yeah,
whenever the Ferrari clown meme came up, it's strategy.
Insert Leclerc at France.
So,
although that wasn't the strategy, that was just Leclerc bin in it.
Yeah. I'm It's a bad day to be a McLaren fan, but a good day
it's
to be a
also quite
McLaren
funny.
fan.
There's some Lando fans be like, why is Lando helping Oscar? When's Oscar ever helps Lando? And then there's like, oh, fucking Fred of Oscar fans be like, here.
Yeah, don't try and start that shit because
so
Oscar has done the team job so many times.
Literally like, as a home race, letting Lando pass to get a podium.
I'm so angry at McLaren manipulating Lando to give the position back. It's like, huh?
Let's run it back, shall we?
Huh? Do I think Lando should have given the position back quicker?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would have, because
there was no need for him to fuck off 6 seconds up the road.
The longer he left it, the more damage he did to his image.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he wasn't even acknowledging the calls about giving the position back on the radio, so much so that Will had to turn around and be like, radio check? Can you even hear us? I think that's poor. Just give the position back and then go race him.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. If he'd given the position back earlier, he could have then raced him.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the team to say, actually, no, Oscar deserves this win. Fucking stay there.
Yeah, it's then up to the team to be
little
like,
Glastonbury boy.
we want to protect the 1-2, hold possession.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I can understand a little bit from Lando's perspective of he wants those 3 point different 6 point difference because he's going after the championship.
7.
Yeah. He wants those 7 points because that's a 7 point gain in the championship. Understandable, but at the same time, just fucking let Oscar get his first win and then Oscar will do whatever you need for the rest of the season, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, or you want those 7 points,
earn it, yeah.
But suddenly it's Singapore and Oscar's in the lead and then Lando's behind. Be like, I want the championship, Oscar. You know what I did at Hungary, mate? Get the fuck out of the way.
Oh no, 2 McLarens in the wall.
Yeah. Radio check. And I can't hear you.
But like at the moment, I don't. I could understand it. Say if the title was as close as it was in 2021, there's like 2 points in it. I seen something today that if Lando wins every remaining race and Verstappen comes second, Lando will only win the title by 1 point. That shows how wide the gap is at the moment.
But at the same time,
title fight isn't really on.
At the same time, it still shows that it's still feasible. And if he had those extra 7 points, there'd be more of a buffer, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot.
Especially seeing as in the last couple of rounds, Verstappen hasn't even been on the podium.
Yeah.
He came second.
Especially.
Okay. 2 of the last 3 rounds, he hasn't even been on the podium.
Yeah.
I think at Spa it would be especially if Max takes an engine penalty and it's down the grid. Then we'll see if there is a driver's title fight and see how well Max can do it getting back through. We've seen in the past him just fucking fly through, get the lead. He's fucking off for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
but now the car's not. Yeah, now the car's sort of third best, second best in a way. It'd be interesting how far he can come through. Because if he can only get to like 5th, 6th again, then it could be like, right.
I think Spa's a very different circuit, mind you. It's a lot easier to pass around Spa than Hungary.
Yeah, which is why
straight.
We know at Singapore, Red Bull have famously struggled again. So
yeah.
I think a lot of this, as much as this is like, Max will he, won't he? A lot of this is also still dependent on McLaren just not fucking up.
Yeah.
McLaren has to perform every weekend now, if they want this.
I think the World Constructors' Championship is definitely on. Yeah, there's less of a gap in the Constructors than there is the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors is absolutely on.
Yeah, 61 points in the Constructors. To like what?
51.
I think it's 70-something in the Drivers.
Is it 51? Have I just mathsed badly? I have mathsed badly.
89 and 30.
My bad. I'm tired. Leave me alone. I got an A star in GCSE maths. What are you on about? And then what's that? 76 points in the Drivers.
So when you consider there's 45 points on offer every weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously because there's 2 drivers and Red Bull only have 1. They're looking severely wounded.
4 points every weekend.
Yeah. 1.25 drivers Red Bull have, I'd say.
Yeah,
you know, he come 7th or whatever this weekend.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah.
So the World Constructors' Championship is absolutely on.
Yeah.
But the Drivers, I think, is probably a bit far-flung for this season. I think the damage is done.
Hey, look, we've had it before where we said, look, Charles Leclerc's far too far ahead. He's got a record gap. That's it. You know, he's done. He's won it. And then he fucked it.
I think there's a difference between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen.
Yeah, one's in a Red Bull and one's in a fucking clown car.
Yeah. But a certain person bins it in the wall at France on lap 20 for no fucking reason, being leading in the championship, and the other fucking takes the lead on the last lap and wins it.
So, yeah, look, let's get to the summer break. Let's see how it's going. But Constructors is definitely on. Drivers is a long shot, sure, but at least it's still possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Focus on the Constructors. See where you are.
That's the thing, though. Like, isn't
Drivers is that close? Then
the Constructors would be a big step. That would be a real show of intent ahead of next season. Of like, look, we can bring it to you.
Yeah.
And we can beat you at your game.
ultimately the
better pit
constructors
box
is
position.
also where the money is.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Like for the team, the constructors is a far bigger priority.
Yeah.
Which is probably why. Which is probably why Red Bull are like, bye bye, Perez. You're costing us more money than you're worth. In terms of crashing the car so frequently, and in terms of not actually helping us win anything. Goodbye.
It's also said, it's what we said about him as well. When it costs them something, then he'll be fucking off. Here we go. We are smart. Genius.
We are the best couch commentators you
we
have ever
are
seen.
Amazing.
Perez is top of Destruction 1 for the season.
Yeah, and I think even if he quits halfway through the year or gets booted, I think he could still finish top. I think the only other people close are like, I don't know, maybe Sargent, Stroll, and Sonoda, probably.
I can't remember. I seen it earlier today, and I can't remember who else is up there, but I just knew Perez was at the top. Shall we get into the other entertainment during the race, which was the Max Verstappen show?
Sure.
He
Do you want to talk
didn't
about
have the most enjoyable day, did he?
No. Do you want to talk about how he's been sim racing until the early hours of the morning, or
do we think grumpy, guys?
Do we think Crofty covered that enough on the commentary?
Yeah, that
he's a fucking loser for sim racing. Yeah.
Like we heard it the first and second time you said it, Crofty. You don't need to keep saying it. Enough, please.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, so Max Verstappen's woes started lap 1, turn 1. What's your thoughts on that incident?
He got pushed wide. He ended up giving the position back. Fine, whatever. Carry on. Look, it's 3 wide. It's never going to work with these cars. Like, he's on the outside. He's the one that's going to get shoved off. Like, just...
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. Go wide and give the position back, by all means. Because you're probably doing yourself less damage by doing that than by trying to back out of it and tuck in behind. Realistically, you're probably not going as far backwards by going wide as you are by tucking in. So, yeah. Fine, whatever, don't care. It's lap 1, turn 1. But, like, you're always going to end up out wide. Like, quit pitching.
Yeah, I don't think the move was really on, considering the two McLarens were wheel to wheel. It was quite ambitious.
But equally, does he know that the two McLarens are wheel to wheel? Because we've said it time and time again, the wing mirrors on these cars are shit. You can just about see what's behind your rear wheel. And then
again, he was coming from behind the McLarens.
True. But maybe they thought he thought that one of them would break earlier and bail out of it or something, but who knows? I think at the end of the day, you can't expect anyone else to bail out if you're not going to bail out yourself.
Exactly. There was a bit of discussion, should they also have given a position back to Hamilton?
No.
Because as he came on, he sort of chopped across them both. That was the discussion, at least. And then also pushed Hamilton wide in turn 2. But I didn't see much in it, personally.
It'll come down. I think if anyone's going to look at anything, or if the stewards are going to look at anything, they'll go, well, he was ahead at the apex, yada, 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 yada. You know, in the same way that when Max whinged later on about being forced wide, GP came back over the radio and said, we think you were behind at the apex.
Yeah.
End of discussion. Fine, carry on. So, you know, at that point, it's just, Red Bull have gone, get on with it, try again, but don't bitch about this one. So, fine, whatever, don't care.
But he certainly didn't have a great race. Got stuck behind Lewis Hamilton for quite a while. Thought he'd finally got past on the run down to turn 2 after Lewis locked up into turn 1, only to then lock up himself and go wide at the turn 2 to just hand the position back. And that's what ended that battle as well. He never got back in front, I don't think.
No. He lost a lot of ground from that. He caught back up, but not as close as he was, which led to the how the comments of 2 weeks ago come back to bite you. 3 weeks ago come back to bite you. He's just sending dive bombs. It's not really racing. Oh, is it not? Man throws the biggest dive bomb and just fucking locks both fronts and sails by. Yeah. At least Lando slowed the car down on like all of his occasions except one.
Except one, yeah.
Like, you make one and goodbye. Like, come on. So, yeah.
Is that the one that they crashed?
Crash.
No, I think the Lando dive bomb, he just went past and Max held position.
Oh no, I was talking about Max done it this week.
Oh
Hungary.
yeah.
So
I wasn't sure if I'd missed something from falling asleep during the race.
No. It was just the big
Yeah.
Got some good airtime there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
YouTube highlights thumbnail.
Get away with it.
Yeah, who knows? They've built the bottom of that car out. They've learnt from Perez to build the bottom of the Red Bull out of the fucking strongest materials known to man. Because at some point it's going airborne.
It's fucking mad.
Any other car does that, they've broken suspension.
Yeah.
Or the exhaust or something.
Shall we discuss that?
So, the fact that GP came on the radio is that after the race you're going to have to be seen by the medic. And then Max like, send the medic to the fucking stewards. They need help.
Shall we talk about that lock-up incident that led to contact with Hamilton?
Led to contact. The contact pretty much fucking instant.
Okay, right. Let's break it down.
What do we think?
Max locks up. Max's fault. Lewis sees him coming and proceeds to still turn into the corner at the normal point. It's predominantly Max's fault, but Lewis equally has seen him there. So, like, just wait for him to sail past and then turn into the corner, you know? That's what I think the stewards mean by driver 44 could have done more to avoid contact. Because at the end of the day, by turning in, Lewis has risked his front suspension.
Yeah. I
know that would slow Lewis down a little bit by not taking his usual line, but at the same time, you're going to be a lot slower if your fucking front wheel's not attached.
The only thing I can think of is because of how quick it all happened. I think he's maybe expected Max to tuck back behind him and just sort of follow him through.
Well,
and then it's like, oh shit, he's went for a dive bomb. Oh no, we crashed.
There's also the Williams as well, wasn't there? So you have to take that into account.
Yeah,
because they were overtaking him.
Yeah, but the Williams would have had a much better view of the incident and probably could have had enough time to react to it. But
because by the time Lewis overtook Albon, it was pretty much on the braking zone straight away.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm going to say it's predominantly Max's fault. There's a little bit of Lewis in there, but like in this day and age, I wouldn't have been surprised to see that given a 10 seconds. But equally, I'm not surprised that it didn't.
Yeah.
I think 5 seconds would have been fair.
They just don't exist anymore.
No, they do still exist because they give them out for sort of other infractions. They tend toward 10 for causing a collision, but with it being sort of a predominant at fault rather than a wholly at fault, they could be like, with mitigation, 5 seconds.
We might need to go back through the previous documents and Magnussen's entourage of stewards incidents and have a look, because I think that every single driver causing a collision document so far this year has been a 10-second time penalty.
I think for causing a collision you might be right, but I know for other incidents and stuff there have been
But that's
5 seconds given out.
That's what this was for, was causing a collision. And I think the 10-second benchmark is the new lowest that they will bother dishing out.
Yeah. When was the last causing a collision? Oh, that was Max Verstappen. So, yeah, we know about that. What about before that?
Probably Kevin Magnussen at Miami.
Yeah, Kevin Magnussen having a crash fest. Was there any causing a collisions
Monaco,
at Canada?
Maybe.
No. Monaco? Anything there? Car 31 causing a collision. He retired, so he got a grid drop.
Esteban.
Was it a 5-place grid drop?
I think it was.
Because that was 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was wild. That was when he sent his own car to space.
Yeah.
That must have been one of the best moments of the season so far.
Drive to Survivor all over that.
It's just the fact that we knew nothing about it, and then it's just this random replay of fucking Ocon just boom.
Carlos Sainz causing a collision, 5-second time penalty.
Oh.
Miami Grand Prix.
Oh.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Was that a lap 1 turn 1 incident?
No, that was.
Oh no, they were just racing hard, weren't they? And they'd lost. They tapped front wings.
Yeah, because.
Okay, so 5 seconds has happened this year,
didn't they?
So potentially they could have given out a 5.
We took into account as mitigating factors, hence 5 seconds.
So could have been. Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had, but equally I'm not surprised that they haven't, because the stewards and consistency do not go together.
Yeah. I think Max is lucky to not get at least 5 seconds for it.
Yeah, I'm fine with a little slap on the wrist. Naughty boy, don't do it again. Eventually he fucking will, but...
Yeah, and then he'll send it into like the Shadow Realm and get like a 40-second time penalty, and F1 will like lose its mind.
Yeah, and then Max will be like, fuck F1, I'm going sim racing until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Have that, Crofty. Have that!
I think it comes back to what we discussed in Austria, though. Is this another chink in the armour?
Yeah, probably. Again, frustration grew. He then sent one.
Yeah.
And didn't pay off for him. So, had he been more patient, could he have got that podium? Probably. As it stands, it was Lewis Hamilton's 200th podium.
Yeah.
In what, less than 350 races?
Something like that.
So
nuts.
Verstappen's weakness is making him really fucking angry. And then, this is a risky factor because he will punt you off. So you have to mitigate it somewhat.
Verstappen's weakness is the same as his father's. His temperament.
Actually, that move reminded me of quite a few that we talked about in 2021. It was very much a move or be crashed into move.
I don't know if it was quite that far. It was more of a move, I'm coming through, but at the same time he did just lock up that one.
I think it was I'm fed up. I'm sick of this shit.
I'm sick of the back of the Mercedes car. I feel like this is frustration from the fact that he no longer has the clear fastest car. Which I could kind of understand. You got kind of used to just driving away at the front, having a nice little Sunday drive, breaking all these sorts of records, and then suddenly you're in the third fastest car on the grid and you're fighting for 5th.
But as we've said, there's a big reg change coming in 2026. Could very well end up in the slowest car on the grid.
That
unlikely
would be banter,
but it's possible. Funny. The Red Bull could become the Alpine.
That would be fucking.
They don't have Adrian anymore, so
if Ford make an absolute tit of this engine, it could be a bus, and he would just have to deal with it.
Yeah, somehow I don't know why. I feel like it's their history in the sport, maybe with the Cosworth, but I trust Ford to not shit the bed on this one. I think my biggest concern would be maybe Audi, but at the same time they've got a really good other programs of racing that they should be fine in themselves.
I don't think I'd be worried about the engine being a bag of shit. I'd be worried about it breaking down a lot.
True. Yeah, reliability will be the big one.
Yeah.
So, just stick it on a dyno for 8 years.
Just don't do a Honda. You know, either make your engine really fast and unreliable, or just
awful,
shit and unreliable. That's what Honda did.
Well, I mean, you can take a look back at Renault and their engines and go, well, they were not fast and they were unreliable. And that cost them
a lot of Renault
customer
engines.
teams. So, yeah. I've pulled up the Destruction 1 Championship. Perez is leading by... He has a healthy gap of just under 1.3 million.
Jesus.
It's a pretty big crash.
Over Alex Albon.
Oh, was that Australia?
Australia. Alex Albon, yeah, Australia. So Saudi Arabia, he had 125 grand's worth. Australia, just over 1 million. Japan, just under 900,000. China, US, and Imola were fine. Monaco was another 135,000. Canada was 202,000 from getting. Oh wait, no, sorry, I've jumped line. Monaco was fine. Canada was 230,000. That was probably where he got hit by Sainz. And then Great Britain, another 125,000.
But anyway, shall we get to predictions?
Well, who's second in the... Oh, Alex, who's third?
Zhou. 1.4 million.
Where's Verstappen?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 12th at 910,000. What costs $5,000?
Who's only cost $5,000 of damage?
I don't know. Go on F1 Authentics and find out.
Because at Canada, Max's car was damaged by $5,000.
I was gonna say floor, but no.
As I say, maybe like a floor streak or something.
Maybe.
What did Max do at Canada?
Anyway.
Max Verstappen.
What, he won the fucking race?
A wheel. One wheel.
Oh, is that? Did he clip the Ball of Champions and get like really close to it? And
maybe, I don't know.
Scratch it, maybe.
Rich?
Yep. Predictions. Yep. What a shit week.
Unsurprising.
Nia scored the most points this week.
Oh. With
2.
Oh.
Hallie also scored 2 in the socials predictions. So that leaves Nia on 45 points. Chris, you scored nothing, so you remain on 46. And I move up to 61 points. Sonia moves up to 64 points. And Ben moves up to 66 points. Nobody got their bold prediction right. Perez was not in the top 8 in qualifying. There was no Bottas bowling 2.0. Kick Sauber did not score a point, and a driver outside the top 10 did not score the fastest lap point.
What was mine?
Bottas bowling 2.0.
Bottas, because you weren't here.
Fair.
Do you want to take Chris for his actual prediction?
Yeah, what was my actual prediction?
You predicted Lance Stroll to get pole position.
Okay.
Did I predict Russell?
You did.
So there's an actual chance of your driver getting pole, Chris. There's no chance of mine. So you actually had a
point. Yeah, Main at least made Q3.
Yeah.
Your podium was Guan Yu Zhou, Valtteri Bottas, and Logan Sargent.
How is he going to finish second while also bowling?
Well, because he's not going to fully retire from the race.
The Bottas bowling 2.0 was just sort of like someone will do it.
Okay.
The incident will occur. You know, there will be some bowling. It didn't have to be Bottas himself. Lap down showdown. Nia won. She got the correct driver and the correct number of laps down. The final result was Esteban Ocon, who was first lapped on lap 32. So Ben was actually closest on the lap count, but he finished one lap down.
Who did I say?
You said Lewis Hamilton, who was first to be lapped on lap 2 and would be lapped 68 times.
I see.
Yeah, not DNF'd, just 68 laps down.
Wait, okay. Lewis, yeah.
Makes sense.
Perez position predictor, nobody got anything this week. So sorry, Chris, he didn't get pole position.
I wonder.
And he didn't finish 19th.
Nearly. That was much.
You're gonna say 20th and then be like, no, because that could actually happen. Let's put him on pole.
So I was closest to his qualifying position, which was 16th. I said 13th, and Nia was closest to the race result. She said 10th. He finished 7th. There you go.
Mediocrity.
Spartan.
Well, I also said that Piastri won his first race without predicting it.
You did. That is in brackets. You did say Piastri top.
Yes.
So nice.
Right on me.
You would have.
It's just
you
something
would have
about
got
Hungary. It's something about Hungary and bringing out drivers' first wins.
You would have got another 3 points for that. You would have won this week if you actually said that.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
All right. With that case, Ben, who's getting pole in Spa?
Oh God. Max.
Richard?
You know what? Why not Piastri?
I'm going to go with Lando.
Nia has
I want to say McLaren,
also gone for Lando.
I'm scared of jinxing them now. So I'm like,
Podium is Richard.
I'm going to say Norris, Piastri, Verstappen.
Ben.
Yeah, it's a lot of It's Norris, Hamilton, Piastri.
I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go with the same as Ben.
Fuck's sake! Right, okay. Norris, Russell, Hamilton.
No, it's in the book. In the book.
What did you say? Norris, Russell, Hamilton.
Nia went with Norris, Verstappen, Piastri.
Mm-hmm.
Bold prediction.
Sorry,
please.
Chris. What did you say? I got completely distracted.
I had said the same as Ben's initial one of Norris, Hamilton, Piastri.
And then I realized that Chris said the same, so I knew that was going to be wrong. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Bold, please, Richard.
Oh God. Sergio Perez in Q3.
That is bold.
That's very bold.
I'm going for it.
Ben.
I want to say. Can I say Verstappen to finish at the top 5 and not crash into anyone?
Yeah.
Top 5, no crash.
Yeah, because you would expect Verstappen to be inside the top 5. And so if he hasn't crashed, that's just...
Like, 5th is the fucking peak that you can be at and not crash into anyone.
No, outside the top 5 is 6th and below.
Well, outside the top 4 then, and not crash into anyone.
So Verstappen not in top 4.
Yeah.
But no crash.
But no crash.
Okay. I'm going to go with Verstappen not to take engine penalties. I think they'll take them at another round. And Nia said both Ferraris to miss Q3.
Verstappen takes a 60-place engine penalty.
But does that mean that Ferrari, don't turn up in Q3, or they just
no, they just don't make it.
Yeah, both Ferraris out in Q1 or Q2.
Ferrari's got through to Q3, but they've missed the diamonds. They got it wrong.
Lap down showdown. Ben.
What? There's 44 laps. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smart. I'll say
it's the Lewis Hamilton Grand Prix.
Fucking hope it isn't. Yeah.
Same.
I'll say Kevin Magnussen, 1 lap down on lap 37.
I'm going to go with Valtteri Bottas, 1 lap down, lap 30.
And I'm going to say Pierre Gasly on lap 26. 1 lap down.
Nia has said Logan Sargent, lap 20, 1 lap down. Anyway, it's time for...
Hey, Sergio. Welcome to Red Bull. What
could quite possibly, if our predictions are right, be the final Perez position predictors.
They're so spoiled, aren't they, Red Bull? They're just getting rid of Perez to ruin our only segment that we've created.
We also created Lap Down Showdown.
We did.
And Mazepin.
Well, then, I'll reword it then to get rid of our only segment that has a jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perez position predictor. P cubed.
Oh, there's not even one that starts with an L. God damn it.
Ben, go for it.
I was going to change it to the Logan location something or another.
Logan location.
But there's
location.
There's no synonym for prediction that starts with an L. God damn it.
Right,
Where's
so
Perez
Ben, your Perez. Just give us both.
I reckon I start in 9th.
Mm-hmm.
It make it Q3. And
the
race happens, I reckon it DNF.
Richard?
I'm going to say 7th for quali. And 8th for the race.
I'm going to go 13th for quali. And 9th for the race. And Nia has said 8th in quali, 7th in the race.
We've all gone Q3.
Except Chris.
I've not.
Oh yeah, you said 13th, didn't you? What
yeah.
A fucking moron. I mean me, by the way, Chris, not you.
Anyway, I think that's it.
I also love the fact, actually, speaking of Perez, every single time he does shit, the commentator still somehow seems surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more surprising when he doesn't fuck it at this point, let's be honest.
Yeah. It was like when he crashed in quali, it's like, this red flag. It's Perez! Again!
No. Oh, it's Perez. Whoops.
It's getting to be a bit like, do you remember when Yuki Tsunoda first debuted and he just kept crashing in qualifying? It's given the same vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate for Perez because he's had a decent-ish time in Formula One. It's just now it's sort of tainted the end of it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really even think it's Perez's fault, really. It's Red Bull's.
The car is designed a certain way, but at the same time, like, fucking drive it.
Yeah, no, but, like, Red Bull shouldn't... They should have, like, got rid of him last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you could see... After 22 was a bit of a struggle. 23 was definitely. You could see that there was a trajectory, especially around Japan, Singapore.
And they just left him in a seat.
Yeah. It's still okay.
But anyway, I don't think we've got anything else to talk about news-wise for this week.
No, I was just going to throw it out there that if the rumoured clause in Perez's contract was, in terms of his performance, is 100 points behind Max Verstappen, he's 141. If it's 150, if he scores 9 points worse than Verstappen this weekend, then it triggers, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So...
See, I'd heard the rumoured clause was around his actual championship position.
Oh, really? Okay, I heard it was points behind Max.
Where it was like if he hit 7th or something, in which case he's already there.
Yes, he is.
Might be both.
Uh-oh.
All that we know is that Perez has got to fucking improve.
Yeah. Or is it too,
we say
too
this
late
and
already?
He turns around, takes pole, wins the race, fastest lap, Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam of Perez. And then there'd be like a Netflix documentary, the race that saved his career. 2025, Perez wins the championship, retires, and it's all flowers and roses.
Yeah.
Instead, we've got reality in which he crashes in quali, fucks off back to Mexico.
Quite possibly. Anyway, with that, thank you very much for watching the Turn 5 podcast. We will see you next week. Ta-ra for now.